Help support your Tucson Terrakions in the UCL and pick up a t-shirt today. Link is on the screen and in the description. What's good, YouTube? That 192 here, back again once again. And today, I am your coach for the Tucson Terrakions, a part of the United Championship League. And today, we are here for our Week 4 team preparation video. And we are definitely going to need it because this week we go up against one of the toughest battlers, one of the toughest teams in the league. We're going to be battling my good friend Leo, aka Elmas the Show Off, coach of the Durham Druddigons, and there is so much pressure on us this week for this battle, so much more than before, because fun fact, I don't know if all of you guys know this that are watching, out of all 16 teams in the league, there are only 4 remaining that are still undefeated at this point in time. There's Joey Pokieaim, coach of the Bronx Bearticks. There's Leo, aka Elmas the Show Off, coach of the Durham Druddigons, our opponent. And then there's yours truly, coach of the Tucson Terrakions. So it's very, very nerve-wracking because we are going to go up against Leo and his undefeated team. So one of the final 4 undefeated teams in the league so far this season will walk away with a loss. And if I said I wasn't nervous, I would be lying, because Leo is a much more experienced battler than I am. But that does not mean that I'm not going to put forth just as much effort or preparation in an attempt to take him down and his team, because his team is very, very scary. The Durham Druddigons drafted a ton of threats, a ton of threats. Looking at their team, the Durham Druddigons, their OU picks are Charizard, Azumarill, Thundurus Incarnate, UU, they have Cresselia, Gligar, Mienshao, and RU, they have Rotom, Drapion, and Braviary, and in NU, they have Miltank, Tauros, and Lantern. So there are multiple, very terrifying and scary threats on the Durham Druddigons team, but if you guys are hyped, if you're a proud member of the NAPI Nation and a supporter of the Tucson Terrakions and are ready to prepare for their battle, make sure you smash the like button down below for us, because you already know your support is greatly appreciated, especially here on UCL Uploads. The team preparation videos, for those of you guys that check them out, you understand just how much thought process and effort goes into this, because we don't just go into these Wi-Fi battles all willy-nilly. This is an entirely new thing for me, and I'm learning every single week as we go, and I'm so happy and proud to be here, proud to be your coach of the Tucson Terrakions. I'm proud that we've gone undefeated so far this season. And, you know, there are the haters, there are the naysayers that say, oh, Nappy's only undefeated because he's battled some of the lowest ranked teams in the league, and it's like, so what do you want me to say? I'm not the one that made the schedule. I don't control that. Still, at the end of the day, I'm one of the 4 that are undefeated. Simple as it gets. So either way, I'm not trying to sound cocky. I'm not trying to sit here and belittle anyone else in the league. I'm just saying I understand the pressure that is on us this week in the UCL. I'm fully aware, and I'm going to hope it doesn't get to me, and I hope that we can do the best against Leo's team. Now, I did team build with Joey Pokieaim this week. You guys know that last week David team built with Joey, and his team, his gameplay was entirely insane. Not something I expected from David at all. So we did team build with Joey this week, and what we decided to do, again, I'm going to go over Leo's team one more time just for you guys so we understand as we go. Charizard, Azumarill, Thundurus Incarnate, Cresselia, Gligar, Mienshao, Rotom, Drapion, Braviary, Miltank, Tauros, and Lantern. He's got a lot of serious threats on his team. So, we devised a plan to come up with something to stop most of his team. And the biggest issue with the Durham Druddigons and Leo's team is bulk. They are so fat, and some of his mons can actually hit back pretty hard. Some of the mons, such as like a defensive Charizard X. He has Mega Charizard X on his team. That can be bulky as shit. Some people like to run Assault Vest Azumarill. Not saying that it's super duper common, but it is a thing. Cresselia, the fattest duck in the game, is there. Eviolite Gligar eats up hits for days. Miltank is there as well. Lantern is there. His entire team is super duper annoying. Last week he went up against JYT Gamer and the Carolina Killdeos, and he literally sat there and roost spammed and milk drink the entire game. And like half their battle is just stall going back and forth. So what we did, as you can see, we have the first member of our team this week. We're calling upon Titania, our Mega Gardevoir, again for multiple reasons. The most important of which, if you look at Leo's team, I've already read it off twice now. If you look at the Durham Druddigons, he does not have one single Pokemon on his team that resists Fairy. So that is a colossal bonus for us, a colossal plus for us, because we could send in, if we send it at the right time with Titania, our Mega Gardevoir, we can get a few Hyper Voices off and just try and pummel and wear through his team as best as we can. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Assault Vest on some of his mons, or if we do see some of his mons built especially defensive, just to take that hit. Now, the way that we went ahead and built this is it is modest nature. We have 252 in defense, similar to last week, how we had a Bowl Gardevoir. It's not Bowl this week, but I'm just saying we have 252 in defense. We have 228 in special attack and 28 in speed, just so we're fast enough to outspeed certain threats on his team. And the reason that we're built defensively like that is so that we can take a poison jab from Mienshao and hit back with a Hyper Voice. And if we really want to, we could protect and scout out what he's going to go for. If he thinks that we're going to switch, we don't want to take a poison jab, we can protect and see if he wants to hit us with a U-turn, a Stone Edge, or a high jump kick if he wants to be that guy. If we could protect against a high jump kick, that would be the bee's knees, because, well, not that a Hyper Voice wasn't guaranteed to kill anyway, but I'm just it's situational type of thing, you know what I mean? But we're running Hyper Voice, Wish, Protect, and Taunt. The reason we have Taunt, because again, if we can taunt the Cresselia, we shut it down. If we can taunt the Gligar, we shut it down. If we can get a knockoff on the Gligar, we shut it down. If we can taunt his Mega Charizard X, well, it's still going to hit hard, but we keep it from Dragon Raging, we keep it from Roosting. I said Dragon Rage. Dragon Dancing, we keep it from Roosting. If we can taunt his Miltank, we keep it from Heal Belling. We keep it from, milk drinking as well. You know, taunt is so important. If we can taunt his Thundurus, that's the biggest issue for us on his team. His Thundurus tears a hole through our entire team. All 12 of the mons we drafted, Thundurus is a threat to. And really, Thundurus is the biggest threat on his team. If he ends up getting a nasty plot up, it's going to be tricky to try and wiggle our way out of that one. But we're here with Taunt on Titania because, again, most of the mons on this team rely on some sort of recovery. They're bulky. If we can keep them from healing themselves, whether it's a status ailment or just HP, then we're in a good position. Like I said, nothing on his team resists a Hyper Voice. Nothing on his team resists the Hyper Voice. Some mons like Drapion might take neutral damage, but nothing else on his team is going to appreciate a Hyper Voice. It 2-hit KOs most of the mons that he could possibly bring. So luckily for us, we drafted correctly in this situation with Mega Gardevoir on our team. But like I said, Hyper Voice, Wish, Protect, Taunt, we're built defensively in the sense that we can take a Poison Jab from his Mienshao and a few other things. We're obviously not going to take powerful stab, strong type moves like a Flare Blitz. We're not going to appreciate Poison Jab from Drapion. We're not going to appreciate Play Rough from Azumarill. We're not going to appreciate. But it is an attempt. It's an attempt for us to go ahead and take a hit if need be and hit back with that Hyper Voice. And of course, we have Wish so that we can heal ourselves off if we need to. We can pass the Wish on to the rest of our team as well. And like I said, Taunt is there so we can try and shut down other mons. So the first member of the team is there. We're good to go. Second up, we have Cindy, our Gastrodon, who has quickly become a fan favorite and the MVP match after match after match after match. And with good reason. Again, it's another draft pick that I'm actually really happy I was able to scoop up. Biggest thing about Cindy is because she's so bulky and because of her typing, she only has one weakness. And this is where Thundurus becomes a problem. Because Thundurus gets access to Grass Knot. Why? Why does it have to get access to Grass Knot? If we didn't have Grass Knot, we'd be able to eat up hits so much better. We'd shut down his electric typing, of course. And on top of that, the best thing you can hit us with might be like a Focus Blast or something like that. That would still do a lot of damage to us because Thunderous Eye's base special attack, I think, is like 145 or so. It's ridiculous. Thunderous Eye is a huge problem. And he's got Prankster and he likes to set up nasty plots and it's just like, stop doing all that. Calm down. So, Gastrodon is here once again. It's rocking Storm Drain because it proves to be too useful. I've said in the past, I don't want to get into the habit of bringing the same mons week after week after week after week after week after week after week. But sometimes against certain teams, you're forced into a corner where you have to bring a certain mon because Gastrodon can shut down Charizard. Gastrodon, to an extent, can shut down Azumarill. If Leo ends up bringing a Banded Azumarill or something like that, and he bans himself into Aqua Jet or Waterfall, that's a switch out. He has to switch, or we're going to get a free Toxic or a free Burn Off when there's a Azumarill. Of course, we're not going to appreciate a Play Rough, but Play Rough also has the chance to miss. So it's important in that sense that Gastrodon's on the team, because like I said, it shuts down Charizard, it can shut down Azumarill, we can try and stall War Cresselia, it shuts down Gligar, it shuts down Mienshao. Mienshao, I think, I think a high jump kick from Mian Xiao does just under half. So we can either hit back with a Scald and then recover the second turn. Of course, crits and max damage is a thing as well. So we'll have to play off of that. But that's why we're rocking Leftovers this week instead of Rocky Helmet. So that after a high jump kick with Leftovers recovery, we can live the next one. So, but like I said, shuts down Charizard, Azumarill, Gligar, Mian Xiao, Drapion, kinda, sorta, it shuts it down. Drapion's not gonna appreciate an Earth Power coming from it. Braviary we can soak up a hit from. Miltank we can soak up a hit from. Tauros is another big issue for us on the team because a Rock Climb from Tauros is going to hurt. I think that does either half or a little above half to Gastrodon, and Gastrodon's one of, if not the bulkiest mon that we drafted. Well, there's Weezing as well, but still, Gastrodon, for Tauros to do half with Rock Climb, that is insane. It's Stab, it's Sheer Force boosted as well, so luckily there isn't a chance to confuse. But the downside for Leo with Rock Climb is that Rock Climb, I think, what does it have, like 85% accuracy or something like that? It's crazy. So hopefully he either can miss and we can get a Skull Burn off, or we can Earth Power it, do whatever we need to do and try and handle the Tauros appropriately. And the Lantern, it shuts down as well. It completely 100% shuts down the Lantern. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to bring a Water Absorbed Lantern based upon us bringing Gastrodon. But the plus side of that is we carry Earth Power. Lantern's still Electric type, so that's going to hit him there as well. So hopefully, Cindy can put in serious work. And people are just messaging me out the ass. Stop it! Stop it! Leave me alone! I'm busy. I'm trying to focus. So Cindy is here to put in work, ready to go again. 252 HP, 252 defense, 4 in special attack, bold nature. That's somewhat standard. And some people were trying to put us down in the comment section from a few other UCL videos saying, oh, Nappy's not going to do well in the UCL because he just brings standard sets, and that's not good in this format. It's a standard set because it works, right? It's popular and it's common because it works. And there's no reason to go out and do a whole bunch of crazy, silly shit if it works. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Simple as it gets. So, people will be people. Up next, we have our Quillfish. Now, we almost brought Quillfish last week. Was it last week? Was it last week we almost brought Quillfish? No, it was against Twit we almost brought Quillfish. We almost brought Quillfish before, and this time he is coming because he is an Intimidate user. He has the recovery option with Black Sludge, and of course he's rocking Waterfall, Poison Jab, Thunder Wave, and Taunt yet again. Reasoning for that is, when it comes to his Mega Charizard X, of course, without a Dragon Dance, after the Intimidate drop, Dragon Claw only does like 30% to Quillfish. 30, 35, somewhere around there. Maybe a little more. So Quillfish can soak up the hit. We can then Thunder Wave the Charizard, which is better in the long run because Leo has Heal Bell users, I think, in Miltank and Lantern. I don't think there's anybody else that can get any Heal Bell users, but if we can Thunder Wave him on, we can have his speed, and then we can taunt him because we outspeed. And if we're guaranteed to soak up at least 2 hits from the Charizard, we can taunt him, we can Thunder Wave him, and then Waterfall is neutral because he's Dragon Fire, but at the same time, if he's paralyzed, that's flinch hacks right there. You know, I understand that's really, really situational, but it's something that can work. On the plus side, going up against another huge strength on this team being the Azumarill. Azumarill, Waterfall, we can eat up if we need to, and hit back with a Poison Jab. And Poison Jab, if it's not an OHKO, it's very, very close to OHKOing. And with the Intimidate drop, like I said, after you Intimidate the Azumarill, I'm sure that we're going to eat up a Waterfall from him. Poison Jab, if it doesn't OHKO, it's damn near close, like I just said. I just repeated myself again. But we are Impish Nature, specifically to handle hits from the Charizard and the Azumarill. Gligar is there, Mian Xiao is there. Mian Xiao can't really do much to us unless it carries Thunder Punch or something crazy like that, which I wouldn't put past it. The Tauros is a thing as well. Really the biggest thing, the biggest part about Quillfish, Quillfish is here to be that utility mon, to get the Intimidate drops off, to taunt a mon on Leo's team to keep it from healing in any way possible, to Thunder Wave as well, and of course it's there to also hit the Azumarill if Leo ends up bringing it for super effective damage with the Poison Jab. I'm just hoping and praying for the absolute best. Like I said, we're built Impish. We have 252 HP, 244 defense, and 12 in speed. I believe the speed is there for us to outspeed Gligar specifically. I'm pretty sure it's there to outspeed Gligar specifically so that we can taunt the Gligar, keep it from roosting, keep it from stealth rocking, and we can then Waterfall it all we need to. We have just enough speed to outspeed a few of his other mon. Actually, I'm not sure. I think the speed investment's there just specifically for the Gligar. I'm kind of sort of rushed this week because Leo once the battle, for you guys that don't know, I'm recording this on Sunday. You guys won't see this until Friday, and the battle goes up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. But I'm recording this on Sunday, the day after our Week 3 battle went up. So there's a little bit of a rushed factor including this, and I'm not a huge fan of that, but that comes with collaborating. You have to work with others and whatnot. But like I said, I'm pretty sure the speed's there to outspeed the Glider so we can dish out as much damage to him as we can. And like I said, it's utility in the sense of Taunt, Thunder Wave, and Intimidate too. Up next on the team, we have 30 Minutes making a return, and we're actually going with a little more of an offensive presence this time. You know, the first 2 weeks we brought a calm-natured, wrote him to eat up hits. He was our special wall. Last week he was Assault Vested and attempt to eat up hits as well, but unfortunately he fell to David's Exploud. But this week he's here, Scarf, Levitate, well, Levitate, no shit. A Scarf user, we have 236 in HP. He's here essentially to help us deal with the Thunderous, because we resist both of Thunderous's stab typings. Now when it comes to Thunderous, a Focus Blast is still going to hurt a lot. It's still going to hurt a lot. I'm pretty sure it's like a 2-hit KO or some shit like that. But Focus Blast also has a chance to miss. But we're modest natures, so we can hit as hard as we can. I think after Rock's damage, Overheat one-shots Thunderous. And that's what we're really, really hoping for. So we really need to get our rocks up, but I'll speak about that with liability here in a second. But he is Scarfed, 236 HP, 148 special attack, 16 in special defense. The 16 was left over. That's to help us eat up hits from Thunderous or anybody else. And 108 speed. The 108 speed ensures, it guarantees us that we can outspeed Thunderous, because unless Leo is running Choice Scarf Thunderous or some shit like that, we should be guaranteed to outspeed the Rotom Heat and be able to one-shot it after Rocks, like I said, with Overheat. Knock on wood, that Overheat doesn't miss. That Overheat doesn't miss. So hopefully, Rotom Heat can come in handy. We're rocking Overheat, Volt Switch, Pain Split, and Trick. And the reasoning for that is we're Scarfed, of course. So if we want to try and shut down another one of his Mons that tends to heal a lot, or wants to try and so that we can trick the Scarf onto the Mon and keep him from doing that. If we're at low HP, we can send him in, and let's say we're at like 30 HP. And we're Scarfed, we can get a Scarf Pain Split off, and even if we're about to die, if we know we're about to die, we can get a Scarf Pain Split off, bring that Mon's health down a little bit more before we die as well. So it's really situational, but it's in an attempt to do what we need to do. But he's here, especially to take hits from that Thunderous, because like I said, the Thunderous is a huge problem, and for us to dish out as much damage as we can by outspeeding the Thunderous and seeing if we can't OHKO after Rock. So it's a little bit more of an interesting set on Rotom Heat, but hopefully he can prove his purpose this week, unlike last week where he unfortunately got one shot and that just really sucked. Next mod on the team, we have Liability, and this is where things start to get even more interesting. This is where Joey really showed me a few different things when it comes to team building and whatnot. But we have Liability, our Crocodile, with Intimidate. It's our second Intimidate user as well. He's rocking Earthquake, Knockoff, Stealth Rock, and Taunt. Now, there was a big toss-up in the air how we wanted to run Crocodile, because Crocodile helps shut down a lot of Mons on Leo's team as well. It's an Intimidate drop on Charizard. We can comfortably take at least one Flare Blitz from the Charizard as well and hit back with an Earthquake. When it comes to the Thunderous, we kind of sort of wall it, except for the risk of Grass Knot again, which we should be able to take at least one Grass Knot, I think. I might be overestimating Crocodile there for a second, but Focus Blast is coming from Thunderous as well, and that's why we have the Chople Berry. Chople Berry halves damage taken from super effective fighting attacks. So the idea here is that if we end up with Liability against the Thunderous, we can have the damage taken from the Focus Blast, live it, and then we can in turn hit Thunderous with a knockoff for crazy damage, because whatever item he's holding, which most likely might be a Life Orb, we can knock off the Life Orb, which will cut his own damage that he's going to send our way, and on top of that, it's going to bring him down so that another Mon like Rotom Heat or somebody else can come in and dish out the rest of the damage. So hopefully between Earthquake, Knockoff, Stealth Rock, we gotta get Rocks up. That's a huge thing. That was one of the reasons why, because like I said, it was a toss-up what item we wanted to put on him, whether it was going to be a Band or a Scarf. Joey even suggested a Dread Plate as well, and we ultimately decided on Chople Berry, because if we get into that situation where Thunderous is here, which I wouldn't put it against Leo, seeing as Thunderous can dodge Earthquakes from Crocodile and stuff like that, we can maybe bait a switch, set up Stealth Rocks if need be, so he can take the little bit of damage coming in and out, and get a knockoff off on that Thunderous, so that we can actually help handle Thunderous on the team. I couldn't think of what I wanted to say, but we are jolly natured, so that we can outspeed the other threats on this team besides thunderous. But he's got 252 HP, 244 attack, and 12 in speed. Again, that's there to help us outspeed other threats on his team. It's just, he's got so many decent mons on his team that can actually get up and start going. Mienshao, fast as hell. Most people like to run Scarf Mienshao. Thunderous is already fast. Zumro has, well, it's priority, so we can't outspeed that. Mega Charizard X is base 100. That's nothing to joke at all. Rotom-Mow most of the time ends up being Scarfed. Braviary sometimes ends up being Scarfed. Miltank and actually Tauros, I'm not sure. I think Tauros' base speed is like 115 or higher. It might be higher than that. Let me double check. Everyone got on me last time during last week's battle for using Bulbapedia over Cerebi, and I think I'm just going to use Showdown from here on out. But looking up something like base speed is alright here. Tauros is 110. I said 115, so Tauros is pretty goddamn fast. It's one of the fastest Gen 1 Pokemon, and I know there's been 5 generations since then, but still, it's one of those facts that just sticks with you. Miltank's base 100 as well, so hopefully with our speed being at that point, we're fast enough to outspeed a few of the other threats on his team. We can hit hard with Earthquake, Knock Off, and the Chople Berry is there to help us take the hit. It's kind of sort of like a mixture of defense and offense, so that we can take the hit and hit back just as hard. So hopefully Liability puts in more purpose this week. A lot of you guys are saying that he was our win condition last week against David, and we just sacked him off against the X-Cloud. Not really. That was the best thing we could have gone for, was to knock off that X-Cloud's Choice Scarf for us to send in Urza and get the kill. So it is what it is. Hindsight's 2020 in the comment section always is pro at Wi-Fi. But either way, we're here. Liability's here. And last but not least, Blue Note is making a return this week. Blue Note, our Lucario. He is rocking Justified, of course. We have Close Combat, Ice Punch, Extreme Speed, Swords Dance. It is a moveset that we have used before, but we're not rocking Sash this time. We are actually rocking a Shucka Berry, which has damage taken from super effective ground type attacks. The idea here is we had a short list. We have a short list of Mons on Leo's team. Miltank, Tauros, Drapion, and Gligar. If any of those are brought, we have the chance to set up against them. Miltank can't really do much to us. If he wants to Earthquake us, Shucka Berry activates, we take that. Tauros, unless he's carrying like Hammer Arm on Miltank or something like that. But Tauros, he's not gonna try and Fire Blast us. I mean, Tauros does get Fire Blast, but I don't think Leo, going up against a fighting type with Close Combat, I don't think he's gonna risk the miss on a Fire Blast. I think he'd rather Earthquake us. Drapion can't touch us. He can't touch us with any of his stab moves, because obviously we're Steel, we're immune to poison type attacks, and on top of that, if he wants to hit us with a Stab Dark type attack, we have Justified to boost our attack after that. So if he wants to hit us with either one of those, okay. Or he could hit us with an Earthquake, where again we'll live that hit. And last but not least, there's Gligar. Gligar can't touch us with anything but Earthquake, so if he wants to go for a Defog, ideally if it's Lucario out against Gligar, turn 1 he goes for Defog, we get a Swords Dance up. Turn 1 he goes for Stealth Rock, we get a Swords Dance up. Turn 2 he tries to Earthquake, Shucka Berry eats it up, we get a second Swords Dance up. And at that point we're sitting at +4. Eviolite or not, he's not going to appreciate an Ice Punch. Even if it takes 2 Ice Punches to kill him, he's not going to appreciate either one of them. And from there on out, we're safe to E-Speed and do crazy damage to the rest of his team. Crazy damage to the rest of his team. So, hopefully, Blue Note is here, and he's here as like I don't want to say like a backup insurance policy, but he's here to help punch holes through Leo's fat team. But he's got 252 attack, 252 speed, 4 in special defense. Because the only other thing that's a big problem for Blue Note would be that Cresselia, because we don't carry Crunch on this set. E-Speeds are going to be the best thing we have. We could try and get an Ice Punch and freeze the Cresselia, but E-Speed would be our best bet because we can outspeed him ×4. It's going to do a decent chunk to Cresselia. Cresselia, of course, is going to live it, but still, we're going to try and do as much as we can. The special defense is there so we can eat up either a Moonblast or a Psychic, both of which are neutral against us. So hopefully with this team, if we play safe enough, because that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing against half the teams in the league, is that anything can happen at any moment in a battle where you make one wrong move and that costs you the entire battle. So hopefully if we play safe enough and smart enough, which coming from me isn't that reassuring, I know. But hopefully we can play safe enough and smart enough, we can either shorten the gap or possibly pull out the W against Leo and the Durham Druddigons. It's going to be a very, very nerve-wracking battle, and I'm very, very scared of what may happen. This might be our last week being undefeated. But like I said, I'm not going to not give it 100%. I'm not going to not try and be prepared as I can be for Leo and his team. I'm saying I'm not going down without a fight. That is my promise to you, and hopefully this Thunderous does not tear a hole in our team. Either way, I hope that you guys are hyped and excited for this week's UCL battle. If you have any tips or suggestions, either for our next week opponent or, like I said, hindsight's 2020. If you have anything that you see on this team that might be messed up or something like that, let us know in the comment section below. If you are hyped for tomorrow's battle, it will be live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go head-to-head with the Durham Druddigons tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, make sure you scoop up a Tucson Terrakions t-shirt. I think by the time you guys see this, there might only be like a day or two left to scoop one up, and then they won't be on sale again for God knows how long. So if you have not, if you've been procrastinating, if you've been waiting, make sure you go and scoop one up. teespring.com/nappyucl. Link is in the description. I'm nervous. I'm nervous, but I'm still proud to be your coach of the Tucson Terrakions. If you guys are hyped, and if you're a proud member of the Nappy Nation, make sure you smash that like button down below for us, because you already know your support is greatly appreciated. But with that, I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you all once again for your support, and thank you for checking out the video. You know me, it's Nap182. Aha!